Hi, my today's topic is wealth maximization. In the previous class, I have explained about profit maximization, one of the basic objective of financial management. And today's class is related to wealth maximization, one of the main objective of financial management. Wealth maximization means maximization of wealth of the company. And what is wealth? Wealth is called as a net present value of the company over the long run, or net present worth of the company over the long run. Then how to know what is the net present worth or net present value of the company? So that is reflected in the form of market value of equity shares of a company. If you refer the market value of the equity shares of any company in the stock market, through that you can come to know that what is the net present value in the long run. Remember, it is in the long run, not in the short run. The net present value of the company over the long run. You have to compare on year basis, not on daily basis, not on weekly basis or on monthly basis, not in the short run. In the long run, the net present value of the company is reflected in the market value of equity shares of the company. So the concept of maximization of wealth means the maximization of wealth of the company and also the market value of equity shares. If there is an increase in market value of equity shares of any company, that shows that there is an increase in the wealth of the company in the long run. For example, today, the market value of the equity shares of a particular company is 100 rupees. And after 1 year, if its value doubled 200 rupees, then it shows that there is an increase in case of wealth of the company, increase in the present value of the company, net present worth of the company. If the value same 100 rupees, if it is decreased to 50 rupees after 1 year, then it shows that there is some problem in case of wealth of the company. Now, as a finance manager, how he can take the measures or how he can contribute to increase the wealth of the company. So therefore, the measures which has to be taken by the finance managers to increase the wealth of the company or to maintain the wealth of the company. First one, by avoiding projects which involve high profits together with a high risk. So it says that the finance manager should avoid the projects which provide higher profits which carries high risk. So the projects which carries the higher risk, generally there is a possibility of high profits and losing of capital also. So therefore the finance manager should avoid such projects because it severely impact on the wealth of the company. So therefore the finance manager, while taking the decision of investment on any particular project, so he has to avoid such projects which carries higher risk with the high profits. Next one is by paying a dividend to shareholders regularly. Why they have to pay the dividend to shareholders regularly? Because again it shows that the wealth of the company is good, means they have, when the company can pay the dividend to the shareholder regularly whenever they have good profit, whenever they have the good earnings. Again, there are a lot of concept related to declaration of dividend. So here, if they pay the dividend to the shareholders, so it signifies that, or the shareholders think that the wealth of the company is a sound or good. So therefore they are paying the dividend, means earnings good. So therefore market value of the equity shares is a good. So therefore they are declaring the dividends. So there are a lot of points again in case of dividend declaration. That concept I will come later in another class. Next one is by maintain growth in sales. Another point which will contribute for the increase in case of wealth of the company, by maintaining growth in sales. So the sales turnover ratio should be maintained by the finance manager, or he has to take some measures to maintain the sales turnover ratio, because that shows if there is a good trend in sales, or if there is a good demand for the product of or the service of a particular company, then it shows that earnings will increase. So whenever the earnings or the profit increases, automatically market value of the company will increase. So generally it contribute on the net present value. So it says that it signifies that wealth of the company is increasing. So if there is a decrease in case of sales turnover, then automatically the market value of equity share will also reduce. So it shows that wealth of the company is in decreasing trend. Next one is by maintaining the price of equity shares at reasonable levels. So always the finance manager should take the precaution or should take some measures to maintain the price of equity shares at reasonable level, not severe fall and not high increase. Sometime if within a month if the value of equity shares is doubled, then also the people get or the shareholders get the confusion, or they get some doubt regarding the company, how it is suddenly doubled. So there should not be severe fall. At the same time, there should not be high increase in the value of equity shares of the company. So it should be in a reasonable level and increase in also in a positive trend, in a reasonable trend. You can say that in a positive trend there should be increase in case of value of equity shares. Next one is by adopting sound investment policies. So through by adopting good investment policies also, you can say that the company's wealth is good. So through that you can maintain the wealth of the company. So that is by adopting sound investment policy. Why sound investment policies? Because to maintain the wealth of the company. How? This is an example for sound investment policy. High profits with high risk, avoiding the projects of high profits with the high risk. So that is called as a sound investment policy. So these are the measures through that the investors can maximize the wealth of the company. Next, merits of wealth maximization or advantages of wealth maximization. The concept of wealth maximization is very clear and not vague. Means there is no confusion in case of the concept of wealth maximization like profit maximization. So profit maximization is not a clear concept, whereas wealth maximization is a clear concept. How you can say that it is a clear concept? Means it consider the cash benefits arising from financial action after deducting the cost of investment. The benefits, cash benefits are considered by minusing or by deducting the cost of investment, or by considering the cost of investment, the cash benefits are calculated. So therefore it consider present value, that shows the present value of future cash flows. So that has been evaluated properly by adopting right equation. So next is it considers the time value of money. So time value of money is a very important in a present business world. So wealth maximization concept adopted the time value of money to fix net present value. The net present value or net worth of the company is assessed based on the time value of money. It recognizes that, or it considers that a rupee received today has more value than rupee received after a year. So that means it has been considered the time value of rupee at the time of calculation of net present value of the future cash flows. The next advantage is why the wealth maximization is beneficial. It considers the risk factor. The wealth maximization concept considers the risk factor. The lower risk projects carries the good return or lower rate of return, or moderate risk carries moderate return, whereas high risk projects has been avoided. Because that has been avoided, why? Because of risk factor. So that is not considered. The high risk project has been avoided. They have taken only the low risk projects which contribute good for the wealth of the company. In the long run, it create good wealth. Even if the rate of interest or rate of return is a 5% or 10%, in the long run they are going to get, or they are going to create good wealth for the company. So therefore they generally select lower risk projects, because even if the profit is in a lesser value, but it create good wealth for the company. So therefore generally they taken into consideration risk factor at the time of calculation of cash benefits. So that is why wealth maximization is a more beneficial. Next is the dividend policy. It takes into account even the dividend policies of the company. So is a wealth maximization or wealth of the company is evaluated by considering the dividend policy of the company. And there are a lot of factors again related to dividend policy when the company declare the dividend. So that all concepts, there are dividend strategies that later I will explain in detail in another concept or in another unit. Next one is a objective of wealth maximization is to maximize the economic welfare of the shareholders. Another advantage, why advantage of wealth maximization is it also maximizes the economic welfare of the shareholders. Shareholders are the pillar for the development of the company. They are main in case of capital structure of the company. They are main part of the capital structure of the company. Their welfare is a very important. Whenever that has been taken into consideration, then definitely wealth maximization concept that consider the welfare of the shareholders also. Therefore, it stands higher when compared to all other objectives of financial management. Next one is it also contributes maximization of other objectives of financial management. Means it contribute for the success of other objectives of financial management. Best one is the profit maximization. The profit maximization is possible through the wealth maximization. Next one is it ensures security to lenders. So it gives safety or security or guarantee to the lenders of the company. So therefore it is a more beneficial, because it, while calculating net present value, it consider all the factors. So therefore there is a high security or good uh, it ensures guarantee for the lenders. Through the wealth maximization, the company can provide guarantee or security to the lenders. So these are the advantages of wealth maximization. The next is the limitations of wealth maximization. Very less number of limitations or drawbacks of wealth maximization. One of the limitation is the maximization of wealth is subject to the social responsibilities of the firm, of the companies. So it is subject to the social responsibilities of the firm. It has been taken into consideration social responsibilities at the time of fixing wealth, not the commercial point of view. They are not considered the commercial concept at the time of fixing the wealth, or at the time of creating the value, or at the time of calculating net present value. They have given more importance for social responsibilities. Next one is a wealth maximization is also subject to government restrictions. It has given more focus on the government rules and regulations or the corporate governance at the time of fixing net present value. So therefore they have, means it is their rules and regulation, or you can say that it's a corporate governance, they have to follow that. So therefore it is subject to some government restrictions, so they cannot fix a higher wealth even if they have good wealth, good net present value. There are a lot of factors which has to be considered, or which will restrict the wealth maximization of the companies. Next one is the objective of wealth maximization is not socially desirable, not necessarily socially desirable. It is not a socially desirable concept. Again, due to some factors, due to some restrictions, the company adopt the concept of wealth maximization. Of course, so at present business world, it is required because the corporate governance says that's only. So wealth maximization shows that company is a sound, but it is not ultimate. You have to take on into consideration lot of factors. So these are the limitations or the drawbacks of wealth maximization. So that is all about today's class. Thank you very much.